You're like a king and you're on your bike. You know, you get the power right in your hand, and you can just, everybody looks at you.
I think this is the period of the individual. They now are taking a notice me attitude. Notice me as an individual. They want to take part. They want to be a part of this world. And I think they need guidance along this to realize exactly how they can give. And I think this is perhaps where the community has fallen short.
We can't go on with the philosophy of excuses where bad behavior is blamed on everyone else except the individual really responsible.
When a community senses it has fallen short, especially in regard to its children, the parents band together to ask themselves what went wrong. It's in the American grain to want to define a problem and decide on a course of action.
We've reached a situation almost like the cowboy movies where a few bad guys take over the town and, the citizens have to call in Matt Dillon or somebody. In addition to making sure that the rowdies don't take over, we must also address ourselves to the task of finding out how and why they got that way, and how we can get and keep them back into the mainstream of our orderly social and civic life. Now, how do we do this?
That's a good question. How do we do it?
We should try a little more trust and not so many arbitrary and sometimes unreasonable directions, restrictions, rules, and so on.
Deal with them in guide them without dominating them.
I think it's very important that parents set an example. Much is said about social drinking, but this has turned out to be, in many cases, compulsive drinking, which the teenagers see and think this is the thing to do.
It's a 7-day-a-week job. You have to be totally conscious of it. You have to manage, in the literal sense of the word, the affairs and the objectives and the desires of your children. You have to pass on what they want to do and make a judgment on it. It's a full-time job.
There is nothing more precious to a parent than a child's happiness. And the question of how best to achieve this is the responsibility of each parent, and in every community there are a limited number of concrete alternatives.
I send my junior high child to Miss Merrill's now, and I sent my high school-age sons to Miss Merrill's when they were in junior high. And I think Miss Merrill's performs a great service for the community.
Good evening. Good evening, Gary.
That's time to dress up, to put on white gloves, and to go down and meet some of the boys, frankly.
Good evening. Don't forget. Good evening. Good evening.
These children don't know the social graces.
She doesn't put her whole arm through. Shove your arm through so we can see how awkward that would look. Oh, more than that. That's it. No, we don't want that.
The boys don't know how to ask a girl to dance.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and rock, rock, and 1.
They don't know the steps, and they, I think, have to be taught the form.
Count, 6, and 1, 2, 3.
At Miss Merrill's, the youngsters do learn the form. They do learn the steps. But in the teenage world at large, the form is never to keep in step.
Forward, side, close, step, side, close. Put your hand a little higher on the girl's back. Your hand a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 1. But please smile and look very happy about it. 1, 2, 3, 1. Step close, step on.
This is another Lexington solution, $1.5 million solution to the problem of what to do with young people. Josiah Hayden, a local philanthropist, donated the money for this recreation center.
Welcome to the Josiah Willard Hayden Recreation Center in Lexington, Massachusetts. We are very proud of this center, and we are proud of the fact that we have 3,500 youngsters who are members of the center. Our programs are conducted separately, but occasionally we have co-ed programs. We have synchronized swimming programs in our pool, and each year we put on a water spectacular. We hope that Billy Rose will be proud of it. In our gymnasium, we have featured, particularly in the last 2 years, physical fitness programs in accordance with the wishes of the late President Kennedy. And we also have bowling alleys, 4 alleys, and they are, of course, open to all youngsters. They're checked out by number and name and time so that the parent can always tell whether or not the youngster has been safely at Hayden all evening or whether they just came and then disappeared on the town. The parents appreciate this very, very much.
Hayden's great, but nobody goes there.
I don't say they're bad. They're very interested in kids, but I think to a certain extent a lot of people feel they miss the point. You just get out of school and here you walk into a place and they put you right in the same situation as the school is. You're under the same restrictions. You got to watch your behavior. If you want to go out, you have to sign out.
Well, we like to consider Hayden a place where any parent would be happy to send his or her child.
It's what they want, not what we want. It's great for them, but not for us.
There seems to be no communication between the parents. The child now can't talk to his parents anymore.
Sometimes I think they wish we were invisible.